Good afternoon. Just going to get set up. So welcome to the live stream. Let's just get the link. Where was that link? Footballtradingprofits.com. So let's get the link there and say hello if you're around in the chat and we can get cracking. Thank you very much, Paul, and thank you, Stephen. Do be careful now. Bayer Leverkusen are champions. Likely you're going to see Xabi Alonso's grandmother playing up front for them today. You get the idea with that. It's not a must-win. You might start seeing Leverkusen lose matches now that they've got the title. It's not something they want to do, but it's just a psychological thing that happens. You see it with Bayern Munich pretty much every season. It's what they do. I've got Football 24 up on this occasion because I need my telephone today. So this is a Football 24 website, and what you can do, you can choose your leagues, which I've done. That's a lot of football on Soccer 24. Wait for all of this on the right to load with the odds, which I hope it will. I don't know why it's not doing so. There we go. Good boy. Just collect your odds-ons while checking these out. I don't need any details from these lower tiers. And this is what I just did with the leagues. I got rid of all the leagues, so I shouldn't be getting all of these peripheral stuff up here. So these are all the leagues that I think will be tradable today, or possibly give us a trading angle. They feature a lot of teams that we're very familiar with. It's only a smattering of them at 2:30. But let's, while that's a little quiet, collect your odds-ons by starring each team. You see, the markets really put FC Köln in a battle of the relegation zone. Darmstadt are down pretty much. Köln still have survival in mind, so watch out. Bayern Munich, no title hopes now. Their sacrificial defeat to Heidenheim, which we got on, paid dividends against the arse. So Bayern Munich will be delighted with that. It's not a must-win for them anymore. It's just a must get a Champions League place. They can't win the title. You know the rule with Union Berlin. When they're favourite, particularly at home, rely on them not to lose. You see the odds today. So we'll just work our way down our odds-ons. 1.7 Napoli. I think they got a 2-2 last week. Zwei Groningen, so the Eerste Divisie. We nearly had a full house yesterday with the Eerste Divisie. You know what I like to do on a Friday? Both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. Only one of those matches missed out on the over 2.5 goals. What a pity. It's a very big payout for what is a goal fest of a league. Celta Vigo, serious result for them today. Las Palmas are far, far better at home. Their season is probably winding down now. They've done their job. We'll check Sirius' stats. Have they turned up? If Sirius have turned up today, then we can give them a serious go. So let's go all the way down to degree 8 trading angles, aren't they? That's why we need to have an auditory alert, as you can hear in the background, that immediately alerts me to a goal that's been scored in one of our leagues of interest. This will alert us in a different manner. That's a potential trading angle. Red cards can change games, particularly at 0-0. So let's get that Jablonec up in the Czech Republic. Where are you? So Trinity Zlin have been red carded. Just waiting for a bit of catch up here. There it is. Just arrived there. So keep an eye on Jablonec's stats. Look at the pre-match odds. 1.8 pre-match favourites, so they should be very strongly fancied today. Take advantage of that red. It might be a lay the draw second half if you fancied that one, because you'll be doubly impacted if Jablonec score, because they are the team with 11 players. So you're going to get that impact from the red card as well as the Jablonec hoped for goal. It's not a gimme, that's why we have to check the in-play stats. So just work our way down for some of these peripheral leagues. The thing about Soccer 24 is it provides you with every single league, which is a bit of a burden. Wolfsberger, Austria Vienna, and Altach odds-ons. So we'll keep an eye on those matches when they occur a bit later on. Moving our way down, Belgian Jupiler League, no odds-ons there today, apart from Genk against Mechelen at 7 o'clock. We work our way down. No goals yet to listen to. You can hear it if a goal comes in. I will stop what I'm doing and check out that goal. So that's a disallowed goal somewhere. So China, earlier on in the day. Likely Croatia is our next stop. Osijek and Hajduk Split. 2 odds on favourites there. Czech Republic's been kicking off just about now, as you know. It's been that red card for Zlin against odds on Jablonec. So we've been alerted in 2 different places. At Football 24 for the red, and here as well you get the odds on favourite, so you know there's a potential taking on of Zlin. We've got an opening goal for Sparta Prague, it seems, as you can hear there, against Baník Ostrava. So no surprises there. We don't need to investigate that much, do we? Because it's going exactly the way we expect it to go, in the favour of the odds on favourite. So that's one way to get your trading angles. The other way is reacting to whatever occurs, be it a red card, goals, or even no goals. Particularly at this stage of the season, no goals is not really what you'd be wanting, particularly with your relegation threatened sides. First Division, Fredericia, well, 2.5 the favourite, as you'll learn. Those odds suggest it's very tough to call. Championship, I normally tend to look at the market as the main catalyst, but at this stage of the season, it's very difficult to trust the market. You've seen a whole raft of upsets in English Championship, English League One, English League Two, with these relegation threatened sides overperforming, a bit like Exeter, who just can't stop scoring at the moment. I think I would have happily taken on a Northampton lead. This Exeter side absolutely banging in the goals of late, scoring 2+ goals very regularly. Their new manager has done. I'm assuming it's a new manager, given that extreme change in fortunes. It's just been exemplary. A really good example to you of how to get out of the relegation zone. Sharpish. Not going to play that one. Bohemians red card as well against Karviná, so we can just break off, and we're going to keep an eye on the reaction to the 11 players of Karviná to that red card. So these are starting to pick up matches of interest. As you can see with Sirius, we've got nothing much to work with in the Allsvenskan. It's one of our summer leagues, i.e. there's very little for us to really get our teeth into. And there's another potential play there with Gothenburg odds on favourite today. So Allsvenskan, a bit tricky for us to exploit. We have to take our cues from the in-play stats and the pre-match odds. With that Norrköping concession, as you can see there, that tells us that an odds-on favourite match has a goal in it. So we go to English League Two at 3 o'clock. Grimsby, Mansfield, Salford, odds on today. Stockport County keep pushing those wins in. But don't forget some of these teams, it's dead rubber territory already. Bayer Leverkusen, for example. Stockport County, for example, as well. If you go to the standings, you'll see the arrow next to their name and next to Wrexham's name. So ignore Stockport County and Wrexham matches from now on, unless their opponent has something to play for. They just psychologically switch off, these teams. It's not a deliberate act, but there's just that killer instinct isn't there anymore. Busting a gut for 3 points when you've already won the title. That's confirmation there. Confirmation there. And indeed, confirmation for old Jane. Mansfield are up. MK Dons have qualified for the League Two playoffs as well. So got to ignore teams with nothing to play for. But Ryan Reynolds will probably get a game for Wrexham later on. He was probably on the score sheet. So got to be very careful, okay, this stage of the season. We've got 4 teams already in League Two who've got F all to play for. Man City Chelsea is one of those derby-style matches, one-off affairs. Anything can happen. Particularly with that very full fixture list for sides like Manchester City, Champions League, which they're out of. HJK, good win for them, or will be. Side worth following. I'll just put VPS in the odds on, even though they're just evens. Veikkausliiga is one of our summer leagues as well. Well worthy of your attention at this stage of the season. Lens and Clermont. Odds-ons in French Ligue 2, which would be an excellent league to do end-of-season trading in. And if you're up and around for the last day of the season, French Ligue 2, the live standings will play a huge role. 6 o'clock kickoff suggests we might be getting there or thereabouts to the end of the season, because we tend to see this in end-of-season matches, everything kicking off at the same time. Bundesliga 2, Hamburger against Holstein Kiel. Desperate need to get out of this Bundesliga 2 for Hamburg, who are far too big a team to be stuck down there. Very quiet so far in Germany, isn't it? We've not heard anything from our German cousins. With the Teflon. There we go, that's better. So we just work our way down. Germany, Germany, Germany. So this is something I would recommend you do each trading session that you're involved in, because your job is to create trading angles and then react, play, decide your entry point, decide your exit if you are going to exit. All hail to the Ale. Are they playing today? Yeah, playing Maccabi Haifa today. Hapoel Beersheva. And that's a Lati and Hacker equaliser. I do like some of the sides in the Liga Ha'al in Israel. Brescia, odds on today. Como, Alperi, odds on today. Venezia, odds on. Work our way down. Japs have already gone. For you early morning starters, that one. Norway, Art and Valoranga. So the Elite Stallion looks like that will be playing tomorrow. Nice to see Norway and Sweden back. Keep us alive during the summer. And don't forget, during the summer, you've also got tennis, which we can, if it's this quiet, we can always just have a look at the tennis. Because this is the time to trade tennis, all the way from Monte Carlo to September. You've got 3 Grand Slam tournaments, and you've got all of the peripheral warm-up events, which the big boys and girls will be turning up to and performing at. You can bet they're going to be trying to play their very best in every single game. That's what I like about summer tennis. It's really good. It's a concerted period of tennis all the way through, high quality tournaments throughout as well. Scottish Championship, unlikely we'll be able to trade it. Its lack of liquidity is what puts us off. So I won't be doing League 1, League 2 in Scotland. Scottish Cup going to extra time after Aberdeen getting a late equaliser against Celtic early on. Yeah, with a Celtic equaliser after Aberdeen opened the score in that cup match. Ah, man. There's that Gothenburg equaliser. So If you played, well done. But it's early on in the season, so I don't mind missing these because I've got no backbone of form to work off unless we just rely on the in-play stats, which is what's happening in the here and now. So we're getting to the S's now. We'll nearly be done with this particular exercise. Odds-ons all the way through in a Swiss Super League today. Got a nice winning trade from the young boys last week. 62 quid profit there. Very nice indeed. iUp Sport, Turkish Yorkshireman, Tetley Teabags. Worth following this season. iUp Sport, managed of course by Alan Titchmarsh, the Yorkshire, very annoying gardener from the TV. So that's it for the moment. These all go into the My Games facility here. A nice play. And given the fact this is the opening gambit of this season, or the opening few matches of the season, you could have got involved in a half-time market to really limit your liability there while still wanting to have a play. So that's something for you to think about in the future. The half-time market is an excellent source of value because you're giving yourself a natural time limit for your side to do anything. That's where you're going to get better odds. So that's a good start there from Gothenburg. I didn't get there, but I'm sure one or two seasoned Football Training Profits members with an in-play stats feed, I think, would have had a little bit of a tickle there, I hope. So we're just going to wait on Sirius. Yeah, it's half time, so we've got no rush with Sirius. I'm not sure if there's any value in doing any of the research, but we can have a quick look in the Allsvenskan. So we're going off to Microsoft Edge, which I'd recommend you use for soccerstats.com to avoid all of those ridiculous adverts that they put up. Just going to make sure YouTube's all okay. You can all see and hear me. We've got a nice system going with Paul. He'll alert me if I end up talking to myself for an hour and a half. So, hi, Mark. Nice to see you. Possible first half goal indeed, Mark, for Hoffenheim, as you know by now. And hi, Kevin, and hi, Gordon. Nice to see you as well. You know the deal with Hoffenheim, Mark? They're totally and utterly unreliable. Complete and utter dodge pots. But they do tend to get a goal before half-time. They've had a consecutive set of goals. So you're quite right to alert me to that post 20-minute mark. Do check the in-play stats, Mark, though, as well, because as I've alluded to, they are dodgy as hell. The mighty Hoff. Where are they? Hoff against Borussia Mönchengladbach. Well, it's looking good, Mark, I think. 89 attacking pressure index. The reason Mark has alerted to us is because he's noted it's come after the 20-minute mark. So that's a nice payoff if you're expecting a Hoff goal before half-time. Well, let's check it out and see your options. You'll be naturally slighted towards a Hoff based on the in-play stats, but you do know they're complete and utter dodge pots. Totally unreadable. Unreadable sides like the Hoff don't make good tradable sides, alas. Although we did get a 100-to-1 winner from them in August 2023, the mighty Hoff. Half-time draw is at odds on. I prefer this option, which is the half-time score option. But I'll be pinning my hopes to one specific side, and that one specific side would be the Hoff. So this is how I would play it if we're expecting that Hoff pattern of goals before half-time to continue. And I haven't done a deep dive spreadsheet. I don't think I'll do one at this stage of the season because needs must. Needs must. I might just try it with 1-0 and 2-0. Of course, we'll be dreaming of that 2-0 at 26s. That would be rather nice indeed. 4.7 would normally be just a tokenistic profit here. And this is variable profit Dutching. So you can change what you want, or change your loadings on each side, on each scoreline. You've got other options. You've got your available stake, required profit if you're using specialist software like Fairbot. I like the variable profit Dutching. As you can see, it keeps the liability very low indeed. Why? Because the half are complete and utter dodge bots. It does, of course, mean we'll lose if Mönchengladbach score. So the neutral angles there, first half goals. This involves both teams. So if you don't want to pin your hopes to one specific side, then these first half goals are excellent. And look at the value you're getting there. For example, this will move if we get a Hoffenheim goal between 20 and 35 minutes. I don't think it'll move that big. It'll move certainly if we get a goal before the 30th minute mark. So as you can see, you can perhaps load up there if you fancied that third goal from the half. So that's what Mark was inferring. If we're expecting a goal before half-time, then you've got a number of options. You've got the half-time score option, and all the research is here for you at footballtradingprofits.com. Get myself logged in, and we'll check why Mark told us about this. Well, just usual, get goals before half-time, but no strong patterns. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Let's go back to our in-play stats. Sirius, we've got no rush there, but we're just going to have a look at the form, and this is the problem we have at this stage of the season. It's a lack of form. So if you go back to view stats and matches for both teams, that's it. I was looking for more matches, but that's it. How can you make a strong form decision based on this? What you can see, certainly from Vernamo, is goals before half-time, which indeed they've done yet again. You can also see from Vernamo they've conceded 2+ goals in each of the last 3 matches. That's a potential positive for Sirius. Sirius have scored 2 goals in 2 of the last 3. That loss to Djurgården, I wouldn't be too concerned with that. Djurgården likely, particularly at home where they excelled last season, they're likely to be one of the top sides in the Allsvenskan this season. So on that very small basis of form, if you wanted to play, then you might want to have a look. Okay, so we can have a quick look at the Sirius market, but please remember, only 3 matches played. I'll give you a gentle reminder. Lillestrøm odds-on favourites in Norway on the opening. Okay, this is just a big fat-ass guess from the market makers, putting Sirius as odds-on favourites. So what you need to do is to confirm whether you are as confident as the market is. If you are, well done. So what I'm going to do, I'll take you through my process. I'm going to lay over 1.5 goals to cover that 0-1. I think that's an important thing to do, or an important habit to get into. It saved you in a recent Liverpool match against Crystal Palace, didn't it? That ended 0-1. We got the 0-1 covered. So regardless of how obvious a match might seem on paper, you never know. Liverpool falling apart, as you can see, right in front of our eyes. Old sparkly teeth, not so sparkly anymore. So we've got 2 options now. If you fancy Sirius +1. If the odds are bigger than 1.22, considerably bigger, I would stop there because this covers the draw. Okay, that's 1.83. I'm quite happy with that personally, but I'll take you through both options. So you're laying over 1.5 goals to win the amount of money you want to play with. £40 minus commission. I'm just going to keep this at 40 for the sake of simplicity, rather than putting 39.20, which I should be doing. So Sirius +1, either or. Okay, either or. You either go +1 or you go match odds. With match odds, you're going to get a bigger return, but you need Sirius to score quickly. Otherwise, you're going to face a net loss on the draw, which you won't get because the +1 market covers the draw. You will get it in the match odds though. What I do, half stake, back Sirius, odds on pre-match, available at 4s now. Lay Varnamo, half stake as liability. Make sure you get that right. Not to win £20, but to lose £20, because you want to be covering that 40 quid here. Okay. So now if Sirius score the next goal, we will be in clover. If Varnamo score the next goal, we will be in a losing position. It's risky at this stage of the season, but they do have a poor clean sheet record, don't they? Keep conceding far too readily. So that's what we're pinning our hopes on. Very, very quiet from our German friends. If they had too much Bratwurst and Dunkelweiser at half time or before the match, it's very quiet indeed. So Sirius and Varnamo pulled the trigger. 8 shots off target is the only real thing to pin our hopes on. This was a more obvious play, but I was doing live Soccer 24. But as I say, those of you with an in-play stats feed, I hope you took action. Sparta Prague, I think we can take that off the watch list. Just keeping an eye on the red-carded sides. No reaction yet from Karviná. Well, it is half time, so watch out. Second half. Got the old Ted Rogers 3-2-1 for Jablonek against red-carded Trinity Zlin. And the mighty Hoff, as ever, start brightly and then complete an utter letdown. Probably another 0-0 at half time, but we will see. We'll get rid of some of these peripheral leagues. Algeria, an expert on just yet. Lots of peripheral leagues. I've had to play Guru because it was messing about earlier on. It wouldn't load. So this is why I have to go through this rigmarole. But we'll work our way down. There's a Sparta Prague League. English Championship just kicking off. 3 o'clock's on their way. So hopefully that will start lighting up this website here. Soccer 24. Just want to check that you're all okay at YouTube. Hi Alan, nice to see you. As ever, if you get any problems, just let me know immediately. I'll try to solve them. So the goals are coming in. So let's keep Football 24 up. Ågret against Östersund and Arlesund against Egersund. These are 2 peripheral leagues. Too early in the season for us to be ultra confident with. Yeah, but we will wait. And Kongsvinger as well. So just some early opening gambits from Norway and Sweden, which you're not particularly that keen on just yet. So 34 minutes, no goals in the first half in the Bundesliga is very rare indeed. And we've got relegation playoffs basically today for our 3 o'clocks in the Premier League. Luton, Brentford, relegation 6-pointer. Sheffield United, Burnley, relegation 6-pointer. You can see in the live standings the importance that a win will have for each of these sides. Brentford are in the safer position at the time of writing, but Luton do have a very strong both teams to score habit, which could come back and sting the bees a bit later on. Live standings, as you can see here, we've got the bottom 3 playing. Luton are in the best position there, but Burnley must win. They must win today. Sheffield United, arguably, with a 9-point gap to Nottingham Forest. That's 3 consecutive wins. I think they're down. Burnley can survive, Luton can survive, but Burnley and Luton must win. Thankfully, they're not playing each other. Brentford, safe enough, 7 points above the relegation zone. And there's Maccabi Tel Aviv scoring first against Hapoel Hadera, or was it Hapoel Beersheva? I thought it was. So it's a relegation 6-pointer there. Hapoel Haifa. Okay, so that's No shock there. What is a shock is no goals in the usual Goalfest Bundesliga. So let's just check that one out. Exeter red card now. So I think Northampton look well placed to come back into that one. There's a goal before half-time. Thank you very much, Mark, for your reminder. So Mark will only take 30% commission for passing on that profitable piece of information. Well done, Mark. Excellent stuff. Thank you for the reminder as well. So I hope you pulled the trigger with the Hoff in the half-time market. Now we'll be dreaming of a 2-0, of course, which would be rather nice. So let's head off and see how our positions lie. They tend to score before half-time, the mighty Hoff. So it's all looking quite nice. You could have laid the draw. That's a neutral play. And look at the draw odds. Wait for the market to reform. Yeah, there we go. Half-time score. We're in a profitable position. Of course, I'm dreaming of that 2-0 and that 61 quid. That's why I've only put a marginal £11 profit on the 1-0. £14 green screen now, which is not too shabby. Glass half full. You look at that as 14% of 100. Trying to make 100 per session with a very modest £40 highest stake. It's very achievable. So that's looking okay. So what I wouldn't be cashing out personally myself because you're only going to make £2 extra and you're going to throw away the potential to win 50 quid extra. Okay? So stay in. Right, red card city today. Is it a full moon outside? I haven't checked. This is what normally happens in a full moon. Got all the red cards turning up. Get rid of Sparta Prague. I think it's job done. We don't need to be alerted to them anymore. So I can just get rid of that. It's going to go down to the Czech Republic. Sparta Prague, get rid of that 2-0. Looks like they've done it already, haven't they? Second half is beginning for Jablonec. So while I'm doing other things, have in mind whether you spot any improvement from Jablonec that you can take on that draw. Well done to the Hoff. Northampton. That'll be another one for the second half, I believe, against Exeter.
Has been suspended.
Got suspended market. Is that 2-0 for the Hoff? Is it an equaliser for Sirius right at the beginning of the second half? Oh, the goals are starting to flow. Bochum have scored against Wolfsburg. Let's have a look at this one. As you can hear, it's all coming in now. And there's the 1-1. So I could have cashed out. Oh, 14 quid green.
Goal. TSG Hoffenheim Borussia
That-
Mönchengladbach is 1-1.
That sums up the Hoff very well indeed. From the jaws of victory, they will find a way to cock it up, the mighty Hoff. Get rid of that, Sparta Prague. So half times Jablonec would be the first port of call, keeping an eye on their stats. Make sure they take advantage of that red card. Typical bloody Hoff. Could have had a nice £14 green there. Should have, in hindsight, knew what I was dealing with and took the gift. I should have taken that gift. 2-0 for Maccabi Tel Aviv against Hapoel Haifa already. So I think we can say ta-ra to that one in Israel. So get rid of that. And I don't think I'll be trading any Norwegian Division 2 today. So let's not get distracted by that this early in the season. And Stockport don't need to win, but they've got the opening goal. VAR offside for Bochum Dano. Giresunspor Göztepe. Again, a quick way to get to the match. Open that up. scroll down to pre-match odds, 1.09 pre-match. That's exactly what you're expecting. Okay, so we can get rid of this Göztepe match. We don't need to be alerted to any more goals in that one. So Goztepe, Göztepe. We don't need to be alerted. They're doing exactly what we expect them to do. So we're highly unlikely to get a trade out of that one. Highly likely to see 3 or 4 goals from them today. So still very quiet in the Bundesliga. Very quiet indeed. I don't want to talk too loudly because it's so quiet in the motherland. Heidenheim and Leipzig. Heidenheim have been putting in some good performances. You can see only 1 loss in 5. Leipzig, though, have Champions League football to think about preserving. They've been in the best form of their season so far. And there they are, just coming up before half-time with a goal. So no surprises there. But Heidenheim did get us that win against Bayern Munich. 200-1, they were backable. Noel Muggins here, of course, only laid Bayern Munich. Absolutely gutted. That was a 3-2 to Heidenheim. That would have been £400-500 profit there. And that's for really, really low stakes, 7 or 8 quid. Gutted. I'll be looking at, certainly if it's 0-0 at half-time, Köln and Darmstadt. They can't tolerate that. They've got to win, FC Köln. So that would be a lay the draw second half. Got to win. You're playing an already relegated side. This is a relegation 6-pointer. Both at the wrong end of the table. So this really should be, for a Köln who've been putting in some brilliant performances recently relative to where they are in the league, this should be 3 points for them. Saints have scored first against Cardiff, no surprise there, and the Wolf have scored first against Bochum Dano. Walsall and Bradford. Again, my main focus is going to be on odds-on favourites in the English League 1, English League 2, etc. So you hear that sound? That's telling us that there's a goal in an odds-on favourite match. And obviously, I think Southampton would be the odds-on favourite here. Pre-match odds, 1.3. So absolutely no surprises from the Saints. Through. Only 9 shots off target for Sirius. They're not really adding to their shots on target, are they? Blackpool against Barnsley and Rodez against Auxerre. Okay. So that's the elephant in the room. No shots on target, but 10 off target. Can Von Armo concede 2 goals yet again? That would be our hope today. Northampton, possibilities here, I think. Pre-match odds, 2.55, the favourite. My only negative is just the extremely good form of Exeter, regardless of whether it's with 11 players. This match against Leyton Orient was just mental. 85th minute, 2-0 lead for Leyton Orient. And this was one I was absolutely gutted I didn't pass on to you, even though, again, those of you with an in-play stats would have seen this kind of stuff from Exeter late on. 2-2, and they nearly won. So that's what's difficult about taking Exeter on. They're in such solid goal-scoring form, even with 10. But having said that, Northampton coming off the back of 2 consecutive home wins, 3 consecutive home wins to 0. So they might keep this Exeter side a little quiet. So I might pull the trigger here. So let's have a quick look. Oh, the half. I did hover my mouse over this 1-1, didn't I? But I didn't. I didn't take action. So let's have a look at Exeter and Northampton. This is a tricky one because of Exeter's really good form. I hope my X is working. Yeah, okay, good. So Let's have a look at what the insurance will cost. 1.3, or you could go straight into the match odds with the red card in tow to cover that 0-1, because we're entering the second half. Laying over 1.5 goals covers that 0-1. It's going to cost you heading up to 7 or 8 quid, 12 quid. So that's quite a hefty insurance. Exeter +1 is likely to be, Northampton +1 is likely to be a little skinny because of the red card factor. Let's have a look. 1.73, reasonable enough. We'll probably have to head to match odds under these circumstances. So let's see. Half stake. So you can still back Northampton at 4.2 with an extra player. Again, that's not a confident tone from the market there. Don't forget to back, lay Exeter, half stake as liability. And if they can pull this out of Joe, you're going to get a very decent return. So let me just get, okay. So that's how I would perhaps do that one. Telegrammers, the insurance might be a little high at 12 quid.
This market has been suspended.
I might just delay a little bit for Telegrammers. Got a suspended market. That will probably be the end of half time for Hoffenheim. We've had a shot on target for Sirius, which is good news. Elsewhere, well, that Northampton is a possibility. So, I'm not sure how to pass that on Telegram in the most valuable way. This is the advantage of you coming to the live stream. You see my thought processes. All you see in Telegram is just what I've written, not what I've.
Carvina Bohemians 1905 is 1-0.
There we go, taking advantage of the red card there. So I didn't see it myself, but if you did, well done. That's why we target these. Accrington Stanley, there we go. Stockport should have been a little more alert. Stockport don't need to win. Could have been an easy lay, couldn't it? Don't forget that's also the case with Wrexham, who got that win earlier on. Now let's go to the My Games. That's it. So we've got these Blackpool, difficult match to be totally confident with. 2.55 the favourite. Telling you it could be anything. I don't know what goal that was. So we'll just work our way what's not. Rotherham, well, arguably, it's got to be a win. Relegated. Birmingham do not want to do a Millwall there. The win against Millwall. And Millwall throwing away points. Talking of Millwall, it's another must-win for them today against Sunderland. 2 consecutive wins now for Millwall. They'll be delighted with that. Last one coming at home last match against Cardiff. 3-1 and a 1-0 win against Leicester. That was absolutely superb. This is what I'm alluding to. Millwall against Leicester. Leicester odds on Favs all day long. But Millwall have done it against Southampton. They've done it against Leicester. They've got to keep winning. Otherwise, they're heading out. Saints have that lead against Cardiff, who Millwall beat quite easily. So Cardiff look in trouble. And normally with Football 24, we do get the league positions, which are vitally important at this stage of the season. So it's a little disappointing of them today that they haven't included that. Very disappointing, really, because it's one of the key aspects at this stage of the season. A bit sloppy of them today, really. Mansfield are already down, so you wouldn't be looking for a Mansfield equaliser against the Gills. Already up, already promoted. So I've probably played Jane Mansfield front today for Mansfield because they just don't need any points at all. It's a complete and on a Mansfield lead, Stockport lead, that kind of thing. So just work our way through. Anything catching the eye? Well, I like, well, that's Rush or Athletic. We can't play these lower tiers. Got goals coming in. We really can't play these lower tiers at all. There's no liquidity. And they're often not available on Betfair. Got plenty of goals to look at. Premier League, it's going to be tight, isn't it? That 0-0 does not surprise at all. Bolton have a goal disallowed against Port Vale. And Walsall 2, Bradford 1. So not really on our radar, these matches. And this is just a reminder to you. Get to know your dead rubbers. So this one, for example, in the standings. We're going to have, come on, Stockport, Wrexham, Millwall and MK Dons already done, I think. Although they've taken away the arrows. There they are. So playoff semi-finals, qualified for the League Two playoff semi-finals. So that must mean that the gap between 4th and 8th is so big that Walsall can't be caught with the amount of matches left. That's what that is suggesting. So Stockport, Wrexham, Mansfield, ignore or take them on. We're talking of taking on. We've got a couple of 0-0s at half time. Well, one. Köln, that looks to be gettable second half, given the need for wins. Portsmouth against Wigan. Again, just check on Pompey here. Do Portsmouth need to win? I think it's not, job's not done just yet. That was the match there. There it is. So it's just popped up, Portsmouth and Wigan. So let's have a quick look at the standings for Portsmouth. Just got to make sure that they still retain some motivation. And indeed, the Wigan need to win as well. So Pompey, well, you don't see that arrow there, do you? But you've just seen in English League 2. That tells us it's not wrapped up just yet. Oh, yes, it is. Confirmed as champions, qualified for the championship. So be very, very wary with Pompey today. It's mid-table mediocrity for Wigan. Not going to go into the playoffs. Highly unlikely they're going to be relegated. There's a decent enough 14-point gap between them and Cheltenham. If you look at the live standings now, rather than just the standings. So we go off back to Pompey. So that was important to work out, wasn't it? Because they don't need to win. Pompey. It's a celebration in front of home support. You can see they're not going to be caught as far as the live standings is concerned. So let's just wait for this to come up. And you'll see that Wigan themselves also have very little to work for. So it just makes for an unappealing betting medium, doesn't it? Can't be caught. From 84 to 94, 10-point gap. Wigan all the way up to 13th, but still 59. Oh, that's 15 points. 15 points, which is 5 consecutive wins to get to Oxford. Ain't going to happen, is it? So please be very, very wary with your relegation, with your dead rubbers. Sorry, if I get the right terminology, with your dead rubbers from now on. This is certainly not a dead rubber, Luton and Brentford, but do not forget an extremely strong Luton Town, both teams to score record. Now, that might present an angle But is it going to be 0-1 to 1-1, or is it going to be 0-1 to 0-2 to 1-2? Both teams have scored 11 out of 12 Luton matches. Only 1-0 at half time for Luton since the 5th of December. So a bit like the Hoff, that could have been exploitable as well. The Shrews have scored first against Charlton. I don't think that's an odds-on favourite match. No. So Luton and Brentford is of interest, given the both teams to score pattern for Luton Town. Extremely strong. Compelling, really. Let's just see if we can find them. They're normally at the bottom. Premier League, yeah. This from the Premier League to the Ryman. So we'll keep an eye out on Luton. It's a tricky one to play because they're such a poor side that they could concede 2 consecutive goals. Get rid of a few of these while it's a little quiet. And head off back again. So we're just going to hide. There's a Viscountliga. Oh, wow. That looks quite something, doesn't it? Let's just break Larty. I'll have a Larty, please. And a Hacker. Just based on in-play stats. Let's just have a quick look at that match. Just trying to do 2 things at once, excuse me. Larty and Hacker. Okay. Oh, man. Larty and Hacker. This is based purely on in-play stats. So I think let's have a quick move there. We'll go Larty. This is based purely on in-play stats. It's just a punt. Laying over 1.5 goals as ever. Laying 1.5 goals. Let's hope that gets this. Watch out for the 12-second gap. 12-second delay here. It's quite a hefty delay. So laying over 1.5 goals. And who's the one who's hitting hundreds? It's Larty. So I was back Larty. If Larty +1 is big enough, well, that's quite nice. That could be a very decent return indeed. Again, this is based purely on in-play stats. It's such an early, young league that you might even just get it wrong with the in-play stats. But it's talk about knocking on that door. Don't forget the 12-second gap is a little bit of troubling. Yeah, okay. I think what I'll do for telegrammers, we'll go match odds for the telegrammers. Just to keep your liabilities lower. Come on. I want telegram up. Good boy. Okay. Larty v Hacker. Go match odds. Lay back Larty at 9.8. And lay Hacker at 1.55. Just based on in-play stats. 12-second delay in market, so that's a slight concern. So this, I hope, will translate well. 4 shots on 7 off 8 corners. I don't know what the pre-match odds were. 3s. So that's pretty good. Now we've got an odds-on favourite goal, because you heard that distinction in the sound. Start against Sanders. That's a Norwegian football. We haven't heard anything from Sirius, have we? That's a problem. 71st minute, still 0-1. That's the problem. First early signs of the season. 3 matches only played. Plenty of secondary stats, but very tight, dangerous attacks. Just a 1 shot on target. Just want to make sure you can all still see and hear me. So I'll head off to YouTube now and again. Make sure everything's working okay. Hi, Paul. Buffering. All right. So it's comes and goes. Okay. I'll try to just get rid of some excess stuff. I can try to get rid of this. The speed. If I can get rid of all of that. So hopefully we'll be okay. And I'll just get rid of the soccer scanner as well at the moment. Right, so Sirius, another shot on target. As long as it stays 0-1, that's the beauty of insurance. If it stays 0-1, you're okay. Harrogate against MK Dons, you know already MK Dons can't be caught. So I'm not going to be backing them to get an equaliser. They don't need to. Well, it looks like Jablonek are putting in a good shift, but secondary stats only. I hope it's improved for you. So, if you click on the live broadcast as well, this live button here, that I hope takes you to the most recent part of the live stream. I will be going back to Hua Hin next month for a short while. I will have improved internet there, that's for sure. So Latian Haka, get that 0-1 covered, sit back and just hope that the in-play stats are accurate. It looks compelling at this moment, doesn't it? So we hope that stays that way. Northampton, I'm a little bit umming and ahhing about them, given, as I say, Exeter have been in such excellent form. And again, get that insurance covered. And then you don't have to worry if it remains 0-1. You can sit back and relax. Will Luton score before or after half-time? Do they have a strong recent pattern? We should look at season-long pattern. Just look at the recent patterns. So let's have a look. Oh, Premier League. Let's just get back to the Premier League. Okay, Luton against Brentford. Move down. Just want to check the recent goal scoring. Have they managed to get a goal before half-time? How about their second half goal scoring record? Is it good? Can they sort themselves out? So I think just the recent matches will tell us, because this is death or glory. So that's the second half goal. Second half goals. And that's a first half goal for Mr. Chong. That's the second half goal. So they've got a good second half scoring record. I might want to wait until the second half there. Both teams to score rather than the equaliser would be what I'm after. I'm also after Google Chrome returning. I don't know what happened there. Let's just get the guru up. And hopefully Soccer24 kept my cookies. This is what I was talking about earlier on.
It has been suspended.
It didn't load very well earlier on in Play Guru. So we've got a suspended market. So I think we're going to get a Luton goal, I think. But it's going to be first half or second half. Don't forget FC Köln as the second half begins. It is a must win. I think it was Larty, wasn't it? Yeah, Larty. So FC Köln, this should be an ideal opportunity for them to get the win today. So the draw is at 3.4 currently. I'll give it a little bit of breathing space. They're not exactly known for their huge goal tallies, FC Köln and Darmstadt. Very few wins all season. I think 5 or 6 in total between the two of them. So I wouldn't be too keen. Just then, I've got the YouTube to get back as well. So let's get that stream and make sure you're all okay. So fingers crossed. Burnley 1-0 goal for Northampton. Excellent stuff. Thank you, Lee. That didn't come up for me. So let's just check our positions. Now an Exeter match. Because there we go. We've got this connection error which happened earlier on.
This market has been suspended.
And as you know, we do need in-play stats. Because otherwise, I'm going to get distracted and not keep an eye on our positions like the Northampton match. So I'm going to lay the draw here at some point. These aren't goal machines, these two sides, but the Köln must win. It's as simple as that. So let's have a look at Northampton Exeter. Thank you very much for passing on that goal. That's one thing I'm missing as well, Football 24. I don't know where Google went. So I might have to get this is my secondary in-play. This is soccerscanner.net. It's a tenner a month. It's a good backup, but this is my preferred one when it's actually working. It is quite brilliant, but there's obviously been some issues with it.
This market has been suspended.
What I did before, I cleared all of this. Leagues all. So none selected. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with the Guru. I've got no affiliateship with this at all, so I can't help you. Ah. Right. I think I know what the issue is. There we go. So now you've got an opportunity, and in a case like this, have a think, because you've got the red card working for you. Don't forget, you could take your 20 green. You've just seen it with Hoffenheim before half time. Once you've taken the green, once you take the green, it doesn't matter what happens afterwards. Okay, that's a key element. Once you take the green, so you take the 20 quid, you're trying to look for a Northampton 70 quid profit. But if you get an Exeter winner, don't forget to be scoring 2 goals very regularly. Alternately, you can try and reduce your liabilities. Get yourself a risk-free punt on Northampton. Okay? So that's what I call options at exit. Now, the reason I would go for the loading profit on Northampton would be the red card impact, wouldn't it? The red card effect. Or you take your 20 quid, 20% of 100, don't forget. It's a nice amount. I wouldn't be dismissive of that at all. Relative to the amount risked, it's a very good return, isn't it? So let me just get rid of that. 9 quid on the draw. I use variable profit Dutching for this, because you can get rid of, you can single out a specific element of the market. There we go. So you've got a free £59 punt on Northampton here. but you can take 20 quid. And the great thing about this, you can still take 20 quid if you've decided that this isn't for you. Okay, so it's a nice position to be in. I call it options at exit. You must have options at exit. And you can't be just inflexible and have a set of exit rules. You've got to weigh into account the amount of time left, etc. Status, red cards, need for wins, in-play stats, etc., etc. You can't just say, when X happens, I will cash out. What if it's a 46-minute goal and they're just killing it with the in-play stats and they've got a whole half to go to get the winner? It'll be a bit foolhardy, wouldn't it? So in-play guru is not performing. This is my favorite in-play stats feed, and it's disappointing when it doesn't work. It's got everything going for it, but it's just not doing it today. So I'm disappointed with that. So I'll just give it a couple of minutes to hopefully come alive. No, connection error. You do have other free stats feeds. The best one called Total Corner, but bear in mind it is free, so you're not going to get all the bells and whistles, attacking pressure index, proper stats, split, shots on and off target, etc. But so Total Corner is an adequate replacement. This is adequate as well, but it's totally unintuitive. There's no rhyme or reason for the leagues. I'd like to see them in alphabetical order as they do in the Guru, because you know, if I want to get to Greece, where's Greece? I have to go through. This is a no order at all. It's just not what you want as a trader. So I can always work through this while it's a little quiet. So do check your Northampton positions. Non-league Premier Isthmian. Well, non-league Premier Southern. So we can get rid of a few of these just to tidy it up a little bit. But my ready preference is the in-play Guru, I think. All round superb when it works. Vanarama National League South. Just wondering if Guernsey FC play there. No. Nope.
Market has been suspended.
Right. So Stockport take the lead. Stoke have the lead against Plymouth. So that's an odds-on favourite match. And this is just the website going silly. There we go. So get rid of that. So 1.67 favourite leading 1-0. So no surprise there for Stoke City. And as you can see here, it is live, but where are the matches? So I've got to work through this feed, which I don't like using if I don't have to. Scottish League One, Scottish Championship. So English League One. So sorry about this.
Suspended.
I can't legislate for these third-party software. I just don't like this one at all, unless he pulls his finger out, you know, and just adds a little bit like the pinning a fancy team to the top, rather than having it in this colour here. Find a way that we can pin it to the top, and then, like we do with the Guru, have all of the teams we're interested in at the very top. That is an extremely good and useful tool to have. We've got an equaliser for Larty. So fantastic stuff. And wouldn't you credit it, Exeter have the lead. That's a great reminder to you that Exeter are pretty good. They are Scoring 2+ goals for fun. It must be a good time to be an Exeter fan. Scoring for fun. Looks like they're leading if you can take your cues from the market, of course. 1.39 a favourite. But that's a great thing about if you green up with that 20 quid, it's done. Anything that happens afterwards, who cares? You've got £20 locked in. This £59 is not promised. I can get out with a £4 green. Let's have a look at this Larty match. I think, oh, that's Larty HJK. We don't need that one. Larty and Hacker. This is the advantage of having an in-play stats feed. I wouldn't have played this otherwise. And the +1 is huge, really. Getting 2.4, 2.5 in a +1 market is extremely good odds. And how about that for a green screen? Take away your insurance, of course. What was that, 12 quid or something like that? And you're still coming out with a very decent green screen. I wouldn't be waiting for that 71. What you could do again, negate this 40 and load it all up on Larty +1, given the one-way traffic from the in-play stats feeds. So there we go. Nice green screen. Would you have ever played the Finnish Veikkausliiga? And look at that one-way traffic. So nice play there. Nice green screen. I'll just get rid of a few of these. Still quiet in our old pals Germany, isn't it? Man, are they playing in their Lederhosen this evening or this afternoon? So let's just go through a few more. So this is just a pain. So I'm going to have a word with the in-play guru, man. This is just a waste of time, isn't it? I'll need to get rid of this app as well. It's getting in the way. So keep an eye on the Super Etten. Allsvenskan as well. Sirius, 2 shots on 12 off, 3 corners, 8 dangerous attacks to 2. As long as it remains 0-1, we're okay. And it's the 88th minute at 0-1. You could do what we call a Paul Dunwoody. So let's have a look. This is a great little technique of Paul's to potentially double your returns without it costing you too much at all. So I'll wait for this to hit around the £30 or higher mark, and then we'll show you how to create a potential double your money or bust. So it's taking a while. The insurance, as you can see, is paying itself well. You've got £27 on that current 0-1 scoreline, which is excellent. That's why we do the insurance, particularly when you've only had 3 matches this season. So a really good defensive display for Varnamo, you'd have to say, today. Conceding 2+ goals. This is the ideal tonic for them. Probably worked on that defence because the start of the season has just been awful for them. But if this gets post 30 quid, cash out of that, and you'll still have money. Oh, Sirius +1. No. Yeah, Sirius +1. You still have that money there. So if Sirius get a late equaliser and you've cashed out, you'll win this and you'll win this. But if it remains 0-1, you're going to make the difference between £30 and £40. So you make a £10 loss for the potential of doubling your money. So get as near as you can to that 39 before you cash out. But try to cash out at some point to give yourself a free punt on a double your money or bust. Great little technique of Paul's, which has paid off really well in some matches. You get yourself a really good value play for pennies on the pound. Really good. Your stake is minimal. your returns are excellent. So we're getting to the stage now. We've got up to 32 quid. So we'll just keep looking at that one, see if we can get even more of a return in this particular market, because it's still going to be a 7 or 8 quid loss if you take it at this stage and we don't see a goal. So we're getting to 33. That'll be about a 6 quid loss. So in the meantime, let's just see if the in-play guru is back. Disconnected. Okay. So hopefully they'll solve this issue in time, because it is such a brilliant tool. It's a pity that it just lets you down from time to time. Let's just get rid of a few of these. Primavera. So it's very, very quiet. We still haven't gone off to see Köln and Darmstadt, have we? 14 shots off target now for Sirius. South Africa, France, Turkish 1 leg, 3-0 lead, exactly what you expect. Quick Boys are playing Kozakan Boys. Fantastic match, that one. So hopefully this will make my life a little bit easier. Although having the guru back would be a lot easier. Secunda, coming to the end pretty much. Santa Clara, top of the league, so we'll keep an eye on Santa Clara. And there's an Exeter lead. Quite unbelievable, Jeff. They just keep doing it. That's what I was worried about, wasn't it, initially? Exeter keep delivering. They're in such confident form at the moment. If they can bring this in to next season, they're going to have a great chance of promotion. Pompey don't need to win, as you know. Already promoted. Well, right. I've got a fridge issue. Very important fridge issue. Yeah. I can't keep my beers cool, which is a disgrace. Uh-oh. So, problems for Luton Town. They might still score. This might be a good time to take Brentford on second half and a 2-0 lead for Burnley. So I've missed all of this out. Where is Football 24? Oh, I'm all flustered from that losing Google earlier on. There we go. I'm going to cash out now. The maximum you'll lose here is a matter of £2. If this gets taken, there we go. Now, if Sirius get a late goal, we're going to make that 36 quid plus 32 here. Really good. Creative example from Paul there of how to double your money for it costing you very little. Sheffield Wednesday have had a recent habit of 2-2s, 2-3s and 3-2s of late. So dependent on the odds, certainly for Burnley, I think Burnley might be gettable. And indeed, Luton do have that both teams to score habit as well. So it is a must-win for both sides. And we've got the goal in the Köln-Darmstadt match as well. So I'm sorry, with Football 24 down. Oh. I've just got to get it up here now, I think. So sorry about this. I do need the telephone because I've had some issues today. Normally, oh, yeah. That's just telling me that the Thai government don't like betting sites. So let's just get, oh man. Desktop. Just going to get Football 24 up. Patience. No, okay. Right. I'll have to get it on my telephone now. Right. Or if I can get my British back up. Hopefully it won't affect the buffering. But I do need that. I've missed a load of goals, as you can see. Proton. No, oh, man. Slowly. There we go. So I'll just get the UK up. So I need my phone for communication today. Now I can get up Football 24. You see the importance of us having a stream of goals coming in. Köln and Darmstadt. Well, I'm going to have to start this from scratch. This is ridiculous. But it'll be worth it just for the to keep away all the peripheral stuff. Swedish Allsvenskan, Superettan, Spanish Segunda, Spanish Primera. We need to have a sequence of goals coming in. Romanian 1 League, Portuguese Segunda, Primera. Up to Norway. See, I've done all this preparatory work already, but I don't know why Google shut down. It's very frustrating. Israel in Italy. Greek Super League. Bundesliga. Bundesliga 2. French League 2. French League 1. Czech 1 League. Croatian HNL 1. Brazil. Belgian Jupiler League. Austrian Bundesliga. And off we go. That should be us done and dusted, I think. So hopefully we're going to get all of the major leagues here and I can start listening to goals coming in again. Okay, so what have I missed out? Let's have a look. Well done to Exeter and Gothenburg Norrköping. Gothenburg might survive this one, but we don't care. Got the profit there from Lahti. While Heidenheim and Leipzig missed all the fun in the Bundesliga. But that wouldn't have been a trade at all with a Leipzig opening goal. And Darmstadt and Köln would be a play. That is for sure. Let's have a quick look there. So we made our profit here. £36.53 profit, plays £40 loss. So well worth the effort, wasn't it, for doubling your money? Well worth it. So Köln and Darmstadt. This is a disappointing loss for Köln, and it could be a season-defining loss for them. This Darmstadt have got absolutely nothing to play for, but this is what happens when when the bottom two play each other. Match odds might offer us a better handle, so I might pass that one on to Telegrammers, but I'll do two routes for you. The first route is the expensive route because you're covering the 0-1. Lay over 1.5 goals. It's going to cost you a lot. It's going to cost you an extra 20 quid or thereabouts. Yeah, that's covering the 0-1. Köln +1 must be a lot bigger than 1.6 to make it worthwhile. Indeed it is 2.28, 2.48, which is very tasty, as you've just seen. So that's what I would do there. Köln and Darmstadt. So equaliser for Köln, it'll be £57 minus 24. A safer option. I don't think that'll be doable if we're going to lay Darmstadt as well. Even on the draw, we're looking more for Köln to get a quick goal and for those odds of 10 to drop considerably, which they will. So I'll pass that on to Telegram. I've got a hacker equaliser earlier on, but if you're at the live stream, you'll have seen me cash out of that for a decent profit. The next match of interest, FC Köln against Darmstadt in the German Bundesliga. It's a must-win. Relegation dogfight for these two, but Darmstadt are pretty much relegated. Köln can still survive. Köln are losing 0-1. So I would recommend a lay of Darmstadt at 1.6 and a back of FC Köln at 11s or higher. Let's hope that Köln realise the importance of the win against a side who's already relegated in Darmstadt. So that's the hope with that particular match there. Let's get Soccer 24 up. Have I missed any odds-ons which have gone in? Missed a whole raft of goals. Let's have a look at the goals in the Premier League if we can. Open play, penalties. I think both of these sides might be layable. Just based on the part of the season we're in and the need for points for both of these teams. So Wissa is the difference for Brentford at the moment. And in Burnley, let's have a look. Brun Larsen and Assignon. Or Hoffen Mönchengladbach is your usual fun. Darmstadt goal. Köln can still do it. They've been in a really good run of late relative to their league position. Let's look at the importance of this on the standings. It's taking a while to just load up. Again, as you can see, it's a bottom two, but they have a greater chance of surviving, Köln. If they can get this to 25, which would have been their goal today, within a point of Mainz and chance at a relegation playoff place rather than getting automatically relegated. So I hope all's okay with you on YouTube. Let's just make sure it's all. Yeah, it looks like it's caught up. Buffering now. Okay. Well, that's because of this. So I'll see if I can get Football 24 up on here. These are the rings you have to jump through in Thailand because they do not like gambling websites at all. And in fact, they're all banned. Even Football 24 is banned. So let me see if I can get it up here. So let's see. Football24.com, and I can take the buffering away then. But in the meantime, we've got goals coming in. Charlton and Shrews, Partick, Blackburn. No strong angles there. Let's have a look as the second halves begin. If we had the Guru, it would be a lot easier. Is it working? A goal in an odds-on favourite match. It's Maccabi Tel Aviv. Again, nothing doing. Oh, it's back. Fingers crossed. We can get back up and running. Just the importance of a really good stats feed can't be underestimated, can it? Rotherham are giving a good run against Birmingham. Now, I'm going to have to put this back on my telephone, I think. So hopefully, yeah, I think that this Brentford are layable. Burnley less so. I think the market's giving you a clue with Burnley. Yeah. If you're still 0-2 up and you're only 1.5, don't forget Sheffield Wednesday have had those 2 2s and those 2 3s. So let's just, I need to get this Football 24 up. Okay. What a palaver. What an absolute palaver. So we'll, this is why I was trying to use my own Wi-Fi. This is a bit sticky today, this virtual private server. So you see all sorts of issues. Come on. No, just not doing it for me. Okay, I'll have to resign myself to using the telephone. Right, that's the Kernley.
Market has been suspended.
A suspended market in a match we're interested in. Okay. Right, sorry about this. What a palaver. That's Runheim. Asani, we've got no interest in that. This is strange to see Rotherham leading Birmingham. Not leading Birmingham in play stats, at least. This, for me, should have been a bit akin to the match with Millwall, where you'd have expected Birmingham to take points off a side who are already done and dusted. Luton and Brentford. Well, I think maybe Luton and the Burnley match, both speculative plays, I think, based on this part of the season, and in particular with Sheffield United. Well, they've already scored, so that's, so frustrating. That's why this seemed a little bit too high at 0-2. They've already scored, and if you've got the research, you'll have known I'd have been keen on that one. So I hope you played yourself. 0-2 against, it's all, the clues are here in the research for you. So that's one which has gone astray. The best, look at these recent score lines. 2-2 and a 2-3 for Sheffield United against 16th and lower. 1-1 and a 1-2 for Burnley against 17th and lower. Both teams to score. Both teams to score. So I'm going to have a go at the Norwich match. Not Norwich match, the Luton match. So let's have a look there. Luton and Brentford. Hopefully it'll be a short or a low odds entry point to lay and a big odds to back. Indeed. Given the very, very strong both teams to score record for Luton, I think this is well worth doing. These odds will ensure that you're going to get very, very low liability. 11 out of the last 12, I believe, both teams have scored in Luton matches, although Brentford just look that little bit too good today, don't they? But look at your liability. It's going to be very, very low indeed, particularly at 48s. And don't say they don't come in. 200s for Heidenheim 2 weeks ago. They do come in. That's what I was talking to you about with Köln. I would like to have 100 plus quid because it's a lot of money to work with when creating a green screen if you get that next goal. So I think this is a good one. Luton and Brentford. Again, I'll just, excuse me for a sec, I'll go to Telegrammers and tell them about it. Luton 0, Brentford 2. Luton have been scoring and conceding in, I think it's 11 out of the last 12 matches. Yes, 11. Both teams have scored in 11 out of 12 Luton matches. They're 0-2 down. It's must-win territory for them. Brentford are very layable at 1.11. And don't forget to back Luton at 48 as well. If they can score the next goal, we'll be up and running. I'm sorry I missed out on the Sheffield United. I was going to do that as well, 0-2, but I didn't get there in time for that 1-2 from Sheffield United. Don't forget, Sheffield United have had a recent 2-2 and a 3-2 in their matches. So we've got a real opportunity for them to get back on parity here. So that was my preferred one. I think the Luton Brentford one is just an afterthought, really, but it's an afterthought that doesn't cost you much money.
Goal. Chef UTD Burnley is 1-3.
Well, there we go. So we wouldn't have profited from that one anyway. 1-3 for Burnley. You could still see Sheffield United score that second goal at some point. So we will keep an eye on that one. But let's do an all-important catch-up, particularly with the Guru back up and running.
This market has been suspended.
So let's work our way through. Austrian Bundesliga just kicking off. We know that there's 3 odds-on favourites at home today. And we'll get rid of some of these separate leagues. And that's Notts County 1, Colchester 0. It's not part of our odds-on list here. So we'll get rid of Sibonek, HNL 1 league. That's not the top flight league, so I don't think we need that. HNL is the top flight league. That's the one there. English Championship. Stoke 2, Plymouth 0, relegation 6 points. And now we've got the league positions back, which is what I was talking to you about earlier. Very important to have at this stage of the season. You can see Millwall must get something. So that could be a later draw late on. It's must-win territory from here on in for Millwall after those 2 ridiculous defeats to pretty poor Rotherham and pretty poor Huddersfield. But they have 2 consecutive wins now. But this is what I'm talking about, league positions, particularly those with promotion playoff places, or those with automatic promotion hopes. As I was alluding to, Huddersfield, 22nd in the league. No shots on target for either of these 2. Well done to Exeter. Wow. What an outstanding side. To be honest, that made you a fortune if you'd been following them recently. Quite superb. So Derby, Carlisle and Wickham. 0-1 to Peterborough. Getting back to something like their best now. Portsmouth don't need to win. No shots on target, already promoted. So there's no need. Leyton Orient, Blackpool against Barnsley, already a 3-0 lead there, so I think we can hide that one. Bolton, Port Vale, 3rd against 22nd. Talk about the need for points for different reasons. Stick that one up on the top there. 16th against 20th again. The need for points is huge. Forest Green are leading. Old Eric, bring me sunshine, Forest Green. I think they're already relegated though. Mansfield don't need to win. Do not play dead rubbers, plead. MK Dons don't need to win. They're already guaranteed a promotion semi-final place. So even though it's tempting to take on a 3-3 lead, it's difficult in dead rubber matches for at least one of the sides. Relegation 6-pointer, Grimsby and Swindon. Stockport already promoted, so can't be trusted. Notts County against Colchester. Wallace remains 1-0. 22nd in the league might have a say at some stage. So that's how I'd play those. We've got the equaliser, Lartin and Hackman. It's a pretty good green screen. So I hope you took it just at the 1-1. Don't forget, as traders, we're ideally just looking for the odds movement. We're not looking for the final result or to call the final result. We're looking to call the next goal or the next thing that will move the odds. Don't forget that. Ingolstadt used to be in the Bundesliga. Hoff is 4-3 against Mönchengladbach. That's one which has passed me by. The mighty Hoff.
This market has been suspended.
Back to something like their ridiculous best. Unbelievable, Jeff. And Heidenheim is scoring and conceding yet again. But this is an ideal opportunity for Leipzig to get the win. Not so today for Köln, but it might be a good opportunity to lay Darmstadt, lay the draw very, very late on. This is what I like to see for late action. But it's going to be scant consolation for FC Köln today. And indeed, it's 0-2 for Darmstadt. So that's why the liability is so small when I was doing that. This is an awful display. It's a bit like Millwall against Rotherham. You can't lose against a side already relegated. Come on. You've just cocked your season up, Köln, after a really, really solid recent run. But that's probably why they are where they are. Awful. Disappointing display. Serie B is coming, well, it's half time in. So we've got 3-0 nils in Serie B. Spezia, Sampdoria, ex of the top flight. So let's work our way down. Any standout stats? That's the first division. We won't be playing it just yet, but just some eye-catching stats from Sogndal and from Bryn. Red card, Bryn and Raufoss. That might be of interest. Raufoss and Bryn. Let's just break. You're hoping with these red cards in tow that, of course, the 11 players will score first. Let's have a look. And then you'll get a really good odds swing. You get it up to 10s or higher. Is it suspended throughout the match or just now? Probably throughout the match, because this will be different if it's a red card involved. So sometimes we can't play the Norwegian First Division, but just out of interest, it will be interesting to see whether we're going to get that second half goal from that red card. Portuguese Primeira, Moreirense, Gil Vicente, no great interest there. So it's mostly the English, I think, we need to focus on as we've got 20 minutes to full time. Can't play the lower tiers in Scotland, alas. And this is what I'm talking about, being intuitive. If we had a league function at soccerscanner.net, that would greatly improve its functionality. As you can see, this is alphabetical order, so I know exactly if I want to go to Greece, it's G. So I'll go straight to G. Leipzig put the cherry on top with a 1-3. So let's just work our way upwards. Particularly looking at these 0-0s. So Huddersfield must win. Norwich and Bristol City. Norwich will be keen to make sure that they get a promotion spot. Watford and Hull. Stoke and Plymouth looks like it's job done for Stoke, but you never know. 18th in the league. Must take points off your nearest rival, but the market looks like they got Stoke correct today. 1.7 favourites. Pompey don't need to win, so it'll take a brave person or a foolhardy person to trust a dead rubber side. like Portsmouth.
This
Cambridge.
market has been suspended.
While this remains 0-1, I think I'll just look at Cambridge. They're lighting up the in-play stats, and don't forget at this stage of the season, you could sometimes dismiss the market in favour of what's happening in play. Desperate need for points. Walsall would meet that criteria, wouldn't they? 8th, trying to get an automatic promotion spot. MK Dons already in the playoffs, guaranteed. So I'm not too keen on taking them on. Similar story, Mansfield. I'm not too keen taking on the Gills.
Luton Brentford is 0-3.
Oh, well, that didn't pay off. Luton Brentford 0-3. But the liability kept very low indeed. So there's no worries really. Luton and Brentford, £6.31 liability. Didn't come off on this occasion. I think the best play is the 0-2 to 1-2 for the Sheffield United match, which we would have made a nice profit on. So we've got a lot of matches to look at. We've got a suspended market, a Stockport, well, proving they are champions. So get rid of that one. Don't need to be alerted to that one anymore. Rotherham and Birmingham again. Just got to be looking for this draw to end at some point. I don't know if this is still the first half. I'm not sure. Norwich, playoff place. This is where the live standings will help you considerably in understanding the sides with motivation versus the sides in mid-table got nothing to play for, and the sides have already done the job. Quite obviously. Well, is it obvious? We haven't got any arrows yet. So it's business as usual for every single side so far. No business concluded yet. With all of these 0-0s,
this market has been suspended.
The onus is on these three sides to score. If they get a goal, it could change their season. Not Rotherham, of course. 24 points. 20 points to second bottom. They're done. They're down. Finished. Finito. But Huddersfield can still survive. Birmingham can still survive. We've got an equaliser here somewhere. And at the top, Norwich are just clinging on to that last promotion playoff place. Hull, you'd expect some motivation from Hull today. 66 points. Trying to blend that gap. Sogndal against Moss. We've got a Cardiff City equaliser against the Saints. Saints are looking safe in 85, but they're putting at risk automatic promotion. A win today adds another 2 points to this to bring it to 87. So that could be another one to lay the late draw, and that's, I think, was what we saw here. 1-1, Cardiff Saints. So that's going to be of interest later on. This looks like we've had a lot of Fergie time. Obviously, somebody is on the lay the draw in the half-time market. Maybe the referee. That's a hell of a half-time has just arrived, so maybe a big injury concern at Rotherham and Birmingham, something like that. Or a pitch invasion, I don't know. We don't get a commentary there, so we don't really know. So let's go back up and start again. Just got to keep an eye on the in-play stats as they evolve. You saw with Gothenburg earlier on, had we been keeping an eye on the Gothenburg match as it evolves, we'd have got on that equaliser, wouldn't we? So it's important to just keep continually scanning the in-play stats. Rennes have opened up against Nantes, French League 1. It's not a match I've got a strong opinion on. That's just been disallowed anyway. So Sunderland, Birmingham, Sunderland, Millwall. You're not going to win if you don't have a shot on target, Millwall. Come on, the Lions. 16th at the moment. Let's have a look what this will do for Millwall if they make it a third consecutive win today. Look at what these two wins have done. You take 6 points away from this. And where are they? I'm just trying to work it out in my head. Carol Vorderman, 46. So they'll all be all the way down here if it wasn't for those 2 consecutive wins. Another win today takes them to 54, and more importantly, makes the gap 3 consecutive wins for Huddersfield to reach them. So this is a very, very important match today for Millwall. Could sort their season out. Just want to see how many matches are remaining in the season. You can find it in many ways. Soccerway.com is one of them. Just click on one of these teams. They should be all on parity with the amount of matches played. And you just go through, go to Championship here. 3 matches remain this season. That's 9 possible points. So we've got to get our old Carol Vorderman maths head on, or I prefer Rachel Riley maths head on myself, but that's a whole other live stream. So I look forward to preparing that one. So now you can see Millwall are on the cusp of not being caught. Let's just double check that. Do they need to win? We've got to do all these checks at the end of the season. 44 to 51, that's 7 points. So a win today for Millwall will guarantee they cannot get caught. They'll be over that 9-point threshold. 3 matches remaining for those people the teams that have already played. So vitally important. I'll have to get my old calculator out at some point. Hope you're all okay at YouTube. I'll just check that one quickly. And the buffering's gone. It looks like we're quite close. Thank you very much, Stephen. Brentford is 4-0. Oh, I feel sorry for Luton. But as you can see, only a £6 loss. Sheffield United 1-3. Both teams score no money available on Betfair. It's a pity that. So person taken ill in the Rotherham game, says Stephen. And if you want to get bang up to date, just click on this live bit here. Should take you to bang up to date. But it looks like we are, because I'm looking at what you've printed, what you've written, and it's appearing there. So that's good. So Rotherham, Birmingham. While there's there's little action, and poor old Huddersfield have conceded first. That was one of these I've eyed for a late lay the draw, if it remains 0-0. And Millwall have done it. They've got the goal. Again, this was a late lay the draw for me as well. I wouldn't have laid the draw just yet, even though it was at odds on. With no shots on target, I probably wouldn't have. I'm more interested, I think, in Cambridge at the moment. Possibilities from Cambridge, but Millwall have that goal. And with that goal, they have their season back. Crucial. 3 consecutive wins. Talk about pulling it out the fire. Wow. So these are all here because I'm looking to exploit any late draw. The later we get in a match, the more pressure there is on these sides to get the goal. And that's when it opens up, and hopefully we can exploit that. Again, keeping our liability as low as possible. Got a goal in an odds-on favourite match. Bolton have scored against Port Vale. Probably the favourites here, Bolton. Again, this was another one that I eyed up. 3rd against 22nd, I believe. Down here, 3rd against 22nd. This was another one to lay that damn draw. But old not lob, as they say in Monty Python. 4 shots on, 12 off, 4 corners. 1.42 attacking pressure index. Looking pretty handy there. Get rid of that, they've got the goal. Might not be over. Port Vale desperately needs points. Sheffield United, not today, I'm afraid. Not today. So I'm glad I missed that one out. It's very, very low liability. Very poor performance from Sheffield United today, must be said. But when these two sides meet each other, relegation threatened sides can often get one side playing far better than the other, because they're down there. They're not the best sides in the league, but against fellow strugglers, they might just excel. Got a red card for Bradford City, 2-3 up against Walsall, who've already scored 2 goals. So that is already on the watch list Walsall against Bradford. Just want to see if Walsall have any motivating factor at this stage of the season in English League Two. They are 8th, which does suggest that they're near enough to the promotion playoff places. But are they there points-wise? Can they reach it points-wise? So that's Walsall, isn't it? 65 to 67. The answer is yes, they can. They're only 2-3 down. They're playing a 10-man Bradford side now. Where are Bradford? Bradford are 63rd. So this is your promotion playoff 6-pointer. And Bradford have the advantage at the moment of 63. They're only 4 points away from that crucial top 7 spot. But Walsall now, if they can turn this around, they will be in the promotion playoff places with a win today. They've already scored 2 goals. That's what interests me here. So this will be of great interest, I think, Walsall and Bradford. So let's have a look what the markets look like. There we go, £6 loss on the Brentford match. That's what we want, low liability. Laying over 5.5 goals? Or do you just go match odds this late in the match? 1.77 and 7.6. It's a very liquid market, as you can tell. It's only 15,000 matched in the match odds. Typical of this lower tier league, which is a pity. £7.6 to back. So I'll show you the options again. This is the riskier option, laying over 5.5 goals. Again, that covers the 2-3. If you're taking insurance out, you're going to the overs and unders above the current scoreline. So his current scoreline is 5 goals in total. So you're going over and under 5.5. Laying over 5.5 goals. Hopefully, Walsall +1 is at a reasonable amount. But with the red card, you never know. If it's 2.3, it'd be quite nice. 2.38, how about that? I'm quite happy with that one. This is the riskier option. And again, we're suffering. And that's probably the 3-3 now.
This market has been suspended.
That's the 3-3, I would suspect. Or is it? No. That's a false alarm because it's still 2.38 or 2.4 now for Walsall, but it's a lot more liquid. So that would be something I'd look at. Hopefully we'll get as good a return as we got last time. So if we get that 3-3 from Walsall, don't forget they're playing with an extra player, so that is pretty decent. So if that comes in, you're going to lose £24 and you're going to win 54 here. Go match odds, of course, if you wanted splitting your stake if you've taken insurance out. But if you haven't taken insurance out, try to keep your liability as low as possible. You saw it not work in Sheffield United match. That's what we're after, keeping as low as possible. So it's £20 liability, isn't it? I'm doing this because I've already taken insurance out. And then you back Walsall with 20 quid, you make 140 quid or thereabouts if they pull it off. So that's all right, £164. But you do need 2 goals from Walsall. You do need a very, very recent goal or quick goal from Walsall. And it looks like Bradford have been the side post that red to do the business. I just want to confirm that that's a red card because it's not shown up. I wouldn't have done Mansfield. They're already promoted. Even though it's an obvious play, I wouldn't have done it. Some of you might still want to play these big sides because they are delivering. So let's have a look at Walsall. Walsall, 73rd minute. So we've got plenty of time against 10 men. They did score the first 2 goals as well. Walker red carded, thankfully, because he's got 2 goals for Bradford. So hopefully that's their threat done. And hopefully Walsall can come back into this. Rotherham and Birmingham. This would be another I'd be eyeing for a later draw at some point. But this is a delayed match, thanks to information I think it was from Stephen. Or I'm not sure who it was, but thank you very much anyway for passing that on. Yes, it was Stephen, yeah. Millwall 1-0. Indeed, Ashley, I hope you played. Norwich and Bristol. Well, it's a must-win for Norwich. There are teams queuing up to take their precious 6th place in the Championship. Cambridge are 19th in the league, and they were putting in a good fist of it. Maybe could be a nice speculative late lay of Derby if the pressure from Cambridge can continue. But Derby are looking at automatic promotion. Cambridge are looking just to survive. Huddersfield, similar story. No shots on target, though, for Huddersfield. Notts County and Salford. It's strange to see that as a 0-0. To look at all the L's. They've really been caught out of late. And all of these already promoted sides or already job done sides are delivering. MK Dons, Stockport. Well, I wouldn't have taken them on today. But maybe I have to change my mind if they're going to keep delivering up to the death. So Newport and Salford, very strange to not see a goal yet in this one, given the needs must for both sides. Again, English League 2. Let's have a look at these 2 sides. Live standings will give you a good indicator. So let's have a look. Probably at the wrong side of the league. Just taking a while. So we've got at the bottom, Forest Green are leading. Sutton are leading. Forest Green can still get out of this. Needs an absolute miracle though. Need Duncan Disorderly back. Salford 0-0 at the moment. So they are some 5 points above the relegation zone. Thankfully in English League 2, only 2 teams get relegated. So Salford are so far surviving, as are Colchester without winning. Newport, relative safety you'd have to say. 13 points above the relegation zone for Newport County. That's the only 0-0 left in English League 2. The onus really is on Salford to get the win. Bring them up to the vitally important 50-plus point barrier, which could change their season. As I was saying, these sides are already promoted. Stockport have just made it 4-2. Mansfield have made it 2-1. So maybe I'm being a little inflexible in dismissing these matches because of the fact that they don't need to win. That's Altac and Blau-Weiß Linz, likely Altac the odds-on favourite there. Blau-Weiß Linz newly promoted. So we're getting to, well, still put off by that half-time thing there. So we've got a lot of weight to go there. So these are all matches up here. I'm just eyeing something from the sides who need the points. Norwich, for example, Cambridge United, Huddersfield, but no shots on target. And this is the bugbear of this website, disconnected. So I'm going to have to go back here. I hope they sort it out once and for all, you know. It's such an excellent website, but it just keeps, on the important days, just keeps underperforming. You will need it working for the end of the season. The last days of the season are vitally important. You've got every little ounce of information there. In-play stats, league positions, goals. You've got to have them. So hopefully this will be working okay for the end of the season. Poor old Luton Town, absolutely done to death. That could be the end of their season. Similar story, Sheffield United had to win today. Luton had to win. Brentford didn't need to win, but that could solidify their survival. Cardiff and Saints, again, if the guru was working, Cardiff and Saints would be up there in my watch list. See, I've done all this work now, and it's disappearing. Oh, and just to remind you, sides that don't need to win rarely do. Portsmouth 0, Wigan 2. So that's just reminded you to just be a little cautious in dead rubbers. Must win for the Saints, really, if they're eyeing automatic promotion rather than the heartache of the playoffs. 85th minute. Nothing much really been going on the last 10 minutes, as you can see, for Saints. But that is another one. You'd lay the draw as late as possible at as low odds as possible. Well, it's 0-2 now for the Swans, so likely we don't need to be eyeing that late on. Norwich, given their league position, I thought they'd be a bit keener to get the win today. Rotherham and Birmingham, as I say, league position for Birmingham. Rotherham are down, but Rotherham are performing very well. Is it pride in front of home support? 11 dangerous attacks to 3 in the last 5 minutes. Pretty good stuff. Sunderland and Millwall. Well, Millwall are under the cosh. 4 shots on, 7 off and 10 corners for Sunderland. Now, does Sunderland have anything to play for? Let's have a look. In the English Championship, Sunderland and Millwall. I don't think Sunderland have much to play for. If there's 3 matches left after this one, we can do a little bit of maths and work out. This is a crucial win for Millwall if they can pull it off. Old Blunderland, 13th place, 56 to 72. Wow, that's a 16-point gap. Ain't going to happen this season. And 12 points above the relegation zone as well, Sunderland. So things aren't quite going their way. Millwall, though, as you can see, this does their season. 44 to 53, that's a 9-point gap. Don't think they can be caught. Particularly with Huddersfield losing today, I don't think they can be caught. Particularly the goal difference, minus 25 to minus 12. So it looks like the Lions are safe today. We'll have to wait for confirmation of that. Safe from relegation. Connection. Now I wonder, I'm just going to check if it works better, if this is a Google Chrome thing. So let's have a look. It's probably an issue with the third-party feed. Yeah, as you can see here. Not happening. So we're going to go back to the soccer scanner. Stoke and Plymouth Argyle. Well, Sunderland threatening a late goal against Millwall. Let's just got to check your timings as well. 81st minute for the last shot on target. 69th for the last shot off. 10 corners, 79th minute for the last corner. That's Grimsby there. And poor old Huddersfield, not today for them. Bristol City late goal. Have you laid the draw there?
Market has been suspended.
So I'm just put off by these malfunctioning sites. This was one to lay the late draw, wasn't it? But I didn't get round to that. So let me start pulling these matches up. Cardiff and Saints. Don't forget, when you do lay the late draw, it doesn't matter who scores. This will be a blow for Southampton's automatic promotion hopes if they can't get a win today when they're expected to. They've had a couple of these shockers. So it's still a little bit too high for me at 1.44. But what you can do, you can start drip laying at 1.25 if you wanted to. Got to press a confirm button. So I'll start again. Change that to 1.25. Looking to win a fiver. I go then to 1.19. Looking to win a fiver. Then I go again. 1.14. Looking to win a fiver. Then we go again. 1.09. And here we can look to win a little bit more because we've only got a 99p liability. The final piece, given its fact that they could do with a win, 1.06. So if they can get a last gasp winner, you'll really clean up 96p liability. So I can leave that match now, move on to the next one. Norwich and Bristol City. I think we've just got that goal from Bristol City, unless it's been disallowed. I thought we got a goal from Bristol City. No, but it was there. But let's go to the Norwich match. Must win. So at this stage of the season, I would recommend drip laying as a real option because they need to win. And this is perfect. Look, you can have a, and if you fancy Norwich, you can even look to back Norwich. What I call it drip backing. So you can lay the draw and back Norwich to win a fiver. Lay the draw, back Norwich to win a fiver. Likely we're running out of time. Lay the draw, back Norwich to win a fiver. And as you can see, we've got most of the money on Norwich, and look at the liability, £1.60. It's a must win because they're queuing up. This will be a very nervy end of the season for Norwich. So we've got that one done.
This market has been suspended.
Rotherham and Birmingham. Well, that's 52nd minute, so we've got plenty of time there. There's no rush at all. Stoke and Plymouth. Well, Sunderland and Millwall. This will be a nervy end to the match for Millwall, but 3 consecutive wins has pretty much saved their season. That's likely the end of the match there. But that's the kind of liability you want to be keeping. Sunderland and Millwall. This will be a laying at Millwall now. Use your drip laying technique. 1.14. 1.09 to win 11. And 1.06 to win 16. You're not going to win all the time on these, but when you do get them come in, they can be very good indeed. So that's that. We're laying Millwall in this case. It's going to be a squeaky bum time for them. They are away from home. Sunderland, 11 shots, 10 corners. That's pretty compelling stuff. So we will see. Watford and Hull. Don't Hull need automatic or need a win for the promotion playoff places? Let's have a quick look. Watford and Hull. This is just a purely end of the season technique, this one. We got it with Millwall and Huddersfield recently, didn't we? With a very, very late goal. So Watford and Hull. Come on. Watford and Hull. Hull, as you can see, they're only, with that Norwich draw, a win for Hull takes them to 69 points. So that's, talk about motivation there. Got a goal, I think, for Santa Clara and an equaliser for Crawley. And a goal for Salford. That was another one that I had in this shortlist. So it's a bit disruptive. Watford and Hull, if it's short enough, it's layable enough. So we're getting plenty of time left, I think, here for the Millwall match. It's all whether Sunderland can do the job. Watford and Hull. a win for Hull could take them nearer to the automatic promotion spots. And again, might as well
This market has been suspended.
have a little bit here because it's costing you nothing to find out. Keep your liability very, very low because it's 1.05, suggesting the referee has his whistle already out. But it's must-win territory.
This market has been suspended.
That's likely the end of these matches. Oh, did we lay Cardiff Saints? I think we did. Let's have a look. And it's gone to the side you don't expect. Oh, this is a great example to you of neutral trading. How about that? Oh, we didn't get much matched. Now, this is the negative about doing my drip laying. If you're going to lay late on in the match, this is how I prefer to do it, drip laying. But then you're going to miss out on any goal that comes in before the vast majority of all plays are matched. So it's a green screen. It's a good call. But alas, the goal didn't come early enough. What a poor display for Saints. They are bang in trouble now. Talking about automatic promotion, by the way, not as far as staying in the playoff places. This is sloppy. What's this done to Cardiff? Look, Cardiff were struggling themselves. Let's have a look. So that's why we do these late lay the draws. Standings, that's what we're after. So let's have a look at these. Live standings as well. So Cardiff are up to 11th place. They're 10 points shy of automatic promotion with 3 matches remaining, so they can't make it. Southampton are slipping, but they're still one of only 4 teams to have broken the 80-point barrier. But I think they're okay as far as guaranteeing themselves a promotion place, but obviously if they had that arrow, they would be okay. So there must be a few more matches. Indeed, Hull have got 43 now, so that must have just finished. Coventry 42. Sloppy stuff, but a good call, but not enough of my lays got matched, which was a pity. Saints, that's the end of the Saints one. 2-1 to Cardiff. Could be a late lay of Cardiff, but I'll take a green.
This market has been suspended.
Oh dear, some huge losses for United and Luton as well. Oh dear. So Rotherham, Birmingham we've done, I think. Sunderland, Millwall we've done. Millwall very, very close to survival. There's going to be a few Millwall fans out and about in Sunderland tonight on the old Baby Sham. So anything doing, Sutton and Crawley, Tranmere, Walsall. We didn't get that goal from Walsall, did we? But we're finally poised. That's why you cover the 0-1, or cover the 2-3. On this occasion, we laid over 5.5 goals. All you need is a late Walsall goal, make it 3-3, and we're up and running, which is pretty good. So tough old coupon today. We've got so many different factors to weigh in at the end of the season, haven't we? Dead rubbers, the need for win. So getting to 5 o'clock. I'll say goodbye to you at 5, but I'll stay on Telegram for a little bit longer. Serie B.
This market has been suspended.
17th in the league, must win, so that catches the eye. That's the Levante late goal, so not a goal in any of our matches of interest. So that looks to be about that, I think. Just waiting for the late action to come in. So we had all of these lined up. I wouldn't necessarily have laid the draw second half in these kind of matches with Newport and Salford. I'm rather looking for a late draw to lay, like you saw in the Southampton match. That's the kind of thing I'm looking for. And a gentle reminder to you with Portsmouth, teams who are already promoted oftentimes don't need to win, and psychologically as well know they don't need to win. Wolves and Arsenal at 7:30. That's an interesting time. It's normally 5:30, so I don't know what's going on there. And Union Berlin and Bayern Munich. General rule is, if Union Berlin are favourite, they tend to win, but Bayern Munich have nothing really to play for, apart from Champions League places, now that Bayer Leverkusen are the champions. Empoli at 5 o'clock, just about to kick off. Empoli-Napoli. Verona-Udinese, another draw for Udinese. 100% draws against 13th and lower this season. So it's a tough old set of matches a bit later on. Malmo, half an hour in, against Västerås. Priced to perform a lot better than this. 100% wins so far, I think, for Malmo. So just waiting for Rotherham and Birmingham. Well, no, we're not waiting. I'm not waiting for another half an hour for that one. So I think we're done and dusted, really. So we've not really had any losses here. The only losses have been marginal losses. So a couple of decent green screens. Just waiting for Walsall as well against Bradford. Can they get that late goal? Let's have a look. Walsall against Bradford. So that's covered. Again, you can do Paul Dunwoody's idea. Cash this out as late as possible and then leave and hope that Walsall take advantage of the 10 men and make it 3-3 later on. Walsall +1. So this is the advantage of insurance. You can actually cash out, as you can see here. You can cash out with effectively a break even. You can jump ship before the match is finished. We're getting out of both of those markets. Getting to the stage now, for the sake of 4 or 5 quid, you can try and doubling your money. So cash out of this and hope that Walsall get a late equaliser. How long's left? Well, 1.11. Enough time against 10 men, but it's just showing the poor form of Walsall, that they haven't been able to get the better. Having scored 2 goals as well, it would be a very poor match
market has been suspended
for the management. That's likely the end of the Walsall match. So I'll wind it up now. I'll say goodnight to you. Another live stream tomorrow. Not sure what type of a coupon we have tomorrow. I have done all the research. So let's have a quick look at what's coming up tomorrow. Everton, Nottingham Forest, relegation 6-pointer. Aston Villa, Bournemouth. We're looking at European places there for Aston Villa. Crystal Palace and West Ham, London derby, and Crystal Palace feeling buoyed after beating Liverpool. So it's going to be a difficult one to unpack, this one. Strange to see Palace's favourite. Liverpool must win, but it's a pretty deflated red side now, isn't it? Stuttgart been excellent this season, top 4. Dortmund and Bayer Leverkusen, be very, very careful. Leverkusen got nothing to play for now, apart from an unbeaten season. Last time these two met tends to be a score draw. Freiburg and Mainz. Mainz are suddenly scoring 3 or 4 goals, which is absolutely mental. They went 15 matches without scoring a second goal. So can't discount them tomorrow. Atalanta against Monza. Atalanta beating Liverpool. Fiorentina, I think, doing a good job in Europe midweek, did they? Torino, tough to beat at home. Feyenoord, usual short price favs. And there's an opening goal for Empoli, so we might have a trade outside of ours. So I'll look on that one with interest. Just have see, make sure that Napoli still have something to play for. I think they still have European places to play for, Napoli.
This market has been suspended.
So let's just double check. That's the Empoli goal. Yeah. Well, Cardiff 2, Southampton 1. So there it ends. So Napoli, well, they've played 2 games more as well than Atalanta. So it's a must-win today for them. Empoli, still got the relegation in mind. So this is going to be another tricky one, isn't it? You can't discount these relegation-threatened sides at all, like Empoli. Even though if they're playing the big guns, you can't discount them. So just one last look. Rotherham and Birmingham. Well, we'll keep an eye on that one. Got to keep an eye on the Empoli match now, just in case Napoli play like 1.67 favourites. This is a tricky one because Empoli can pull off an unexpected win with their need for points. So that's me done for the day. Hope you've made some money. I'll see you on Telegram for the rest of the evening. And thanks very much for coming along. I'll have another live stream tomorrow, I think about 2 o'clock, if you fancy it. So see you members at least, Football Training Profits. Thank you very much, Mr. Unbroken Motivation. Great name. And thank you very much for attending. And I'll see you on Telegram, members. And I'll see you again here tomorrow at 2 o'clock for another live stream. Again, thanks very much for coming. Have a great rest of your evening. Hopefully I'll pick you up